Duncan started his hospitality career in the early 1980s as an apprentice chef at Florentino restaurant in Bourke Street, Melbourne. After completing his apprenticeship in cooking and his trade schooling at Box Hill Institute, he continued working for several years after at Florentino as a qualified cook, running several sections in the main kitchen. Duncan then left Florentino to work at the Hilton on the Park, Melbourne, where he worked in the gallery restaurant for several years. Duncan worked his way from the bottom up, but soon after became one of the restaurant's senior waiters. Duncan then left the Hilton to work at the Menzies at Rialto. He worked several years as a restaurant supervisor and as the staff training officer. Duncan was later recruited to work at the newly refurbished Florentino restaurant. He started his transition during this time to the teaching sector by working as a seasonal hospitality teacher for NMIT. During the past few years, Duncan has been working in the area of workplace training and RPL, recognition of prior learning, where he has been conducting the training and assessment of trainees and apprentices in their place of work. This has led to the building of many strong partnerships and friendships with our hospitality industry partners. Irene began her teaching career as a high school student in Victorian secondary schools. She has been an ESL/EFL teacher at NMIT for many years, initially working with recently arrived migrants. Irene now has over 15 years experience teaching international students in the ELICOS program. She loves her job and is particularly interested in using technology in the classroom and enjoys creating interesting and relevant classroom resources. Irene also has extensive knowledge and experience in IELTS testing procedure and practice. Con is an experienced educator, author and consultant. His work is in the business applications of information technology, along with many years of education management, consulting and applied research experience in various tertiary settings. Con's primary research areas of interest relate to the digital divide influence on the technology acceptance model and its ability to reliably inform tertiary education administrations. Minnow is the course administrator of higher education. She started working at NMIT in November 2012. She has completed a Bachelor of Arts, Multimedia from RMIT and a Master of Communication and Media Studies from Monash, along with a Certificate 4 in Training and Education, a Certificate 3 in Printing and Graphic Arts, and a few other advertising courses from the Advertising Federation of Australia. Minnow has previously worked as a Marketing and Communications Coordinator for 6 years in various creative industries. Shane Simmons is the Performing Arts Department Technical Officer with a passion for music performance and composition, theatre production and sound and lighting design. Shane has worked as a production technician specialising in sound. Shane has fulfilled technical and head technical roles in most large Melbourne theatres, including the Princess, Regent, Comedy, Forum, Malthouse and Her Majesty's Theatre. Shane has worked with large touring musicals such as Mamma Mia, Dirty Dancing and Oh What a Night, and has done front of house sound for Bob Hawke, Bert Newton, Ricky Ponting, Reg Livermore, Tom Burlinson, Kate Sobrano, Russell Morris, Daryl Cotton and Jim Keys. Alice is a writer of fiction, literary essays and reviews. Her writing has appeared in print and online, including Kill Your Darlings, Literary Minded and Text Journal. Alice's professional writing experience includes project work for Connex, and she was employed for several years as a writer of book notes for CAE's Book Groups program. Alice has taught in a variety of institutions, both in Melbourne and overseas, and has lectured in the Bachelor of Writing and Publishing at NMIT since 2009. In addition to teaching and lecturing, Alice has worked as a professional book and writing group facilitator for both Victoria University and the CAE. After graduating from the University of Melbourne with a Bachelor of Creative Arts, Alice embarked on a PhD by research at Victoria University. Her PhD consists of a novel and exegesis which together explore attitudes to place and landscape in Australia. Specifically, Alice is interested in the way settler Australian cultures understand the Australian landscape and the implications of those understandings for climate change. Darren's work in music and sound design spans 20 years and has been recognised with multiple industry awards and nominations. He has worked in roles including composer, sound designer, audio engineer, sound editor and music supervisor. Darren is currently completing a Master of Sound Design, which includes the study of environments enhanced with simple sustained sine tones. He has recorded and mixed many renowned and award-winning bands, including the Spaghetti Western Orchestra and My Friend the Chocolate Cake. Darren's numerous sound designs for theatre has taken him around the world several times, working with theatre companies ranging from chambermaid opera to Circus Oz. Fiona has been teaching music performance at NMIT since 1987. Her qualifications include a Masters of Professional Education and Training in Flexible, Online and Distance Education, a Bachelor of Education in Music, a Certificate for in Assessment Workplace and Training, and a Certificate for in Training and Assessment. Fiona's principal instrument is piano, and she has had years of experience performing in pubs, clubs and hotels and at corporate events in and around Melbourne and along the east coast of Australia. Alongside teaching in the music program at NMIT, Fiona designs and develops online and off-campus music units for the Performing Arts Department. In 2009, Fiona established a best practice implementation for courses in Student Portal, SharePoint, for performing arts courses, higher education and VET. Fiona continues to develop web-based platforms for NMIT staff and students and provides assistance to staff adopting the use of technology in education. Jeffrey is the head of program of hospitality management. He has over 35 years experience in higher education and has worked in universities in Australia, South Africa, Malaysia, Singapore and Hong Kong. In Australia, he has lectured in a wide range of marketing and management subjects for various institutions, including Victoria University, Monash, Swinburne, RMIT, James Cook University, Charles Sturt University, the Australian Catholic University and the University of Ballarat. Jeffrey holds a Bachelor of Economics, an honours degree in Business Economics with distinction, a Master of Arts and a Master of Business, as well as a Graduate Diploma of Education, a Certificate for in Assessment Workplace and Training, and an Executive Certificate in Event Management. Veronica joined the Education Early Years team at NMIT in December 2010, following a 19-year career with the education sector. Veronica has worked across tertiary administration and professional placement responsibilities, worked extensively in primary and secondary schools as executive assistant to the headmistress, and 5 years in a computer training company. Veronica enjoys her cohesive work environment and the commitment that her team and the institution as a whole has to all students and their success. Greg Arnold is a senior lecturer and the head of program of the NMIT Bachelor of Music industry. He is also a singer-songwriter, producer and performer. He has won an ARIA with his band Things of Stone and Wood and the prestigious APRA Songwriter of the Year award. He has a substantial recording back catalogue, which includes 2 top 10 albums, the summary top 10 hit Happy Birthday Helen, and a top 4 radio played song Wildflowers. As a producer, his recordings have enjoyed national and international playlisting and critical acclaim. Dr. Corrina began at NMIT in 2010 and came over from another university to head up the new Education Early Years program. Here at NMIT, we can provide a responsive and personalised experience of higher education study, which isn't always possible at larger places, and this is at the heart of quality teaching. Dr. Corrina enjoys the opportunity to provide higher education studies opportunities and programs that invest in the students and the students' success. Dr. Corrina originally qualified as an early childhood teacher and worked in the field in a variety of ways: occasional care, long day care, and sessional kindergarten. She then returned to higher education study and completed a PhD looking at issues of multiculturalism, racism, and curriculum and pedagogical change. Nick Lovett brings over 15 years Network 10 television production experience to NMIT. After completing a Bachelor of Arts at Monash University, Nick worked in advertising before moving to the graphics department at Network 10. He became the department supervisor before spending 4 years as a production supervisor of 10's Melbourne productions. Nick helped produce shows such as The Circle, 7pm Project, Before the Game, Thank God You're Here, Talking About Your Generation, The Bolt Report, Fifth Quarter, Game Plan, 1 Week at a Time, as well as the coverage of IPL cricket, the Commonwealth Games, and the US Open and Masters golf tournaments. Nick says the current TV industry is represented by a large and expanding number of technical TV production roles, and NMIT is looking to provide extensive training with cutting-edge facilities.